Going to move on here. So much fun to get Tuesday night started. We have two more shows. And with no further ado, once I get my music sharing capabilities up, um, we're welcoming these folks are back for a second season. So happy to have them back. Please welcome to the stage the Pearfects.
We didn't get to sing any lyrics this time.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't
I
actually
get the
sing
mark
There
in
goes
lyrics.
the
the
out.
whole show. The whole show is ruined.
All right,
Jeez,
we'll see you in two
Brian.
Tuesdays.
Come on, geez.
Everyone's here to see us sing Bye 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 by NSYNC and or Backstreet Boys. I'm uncertain. But we are the Pearfects from DC, DMV, Northern Virginia area.
That's San Diego.
Yes, one of us is in San Diego. Not currently on screen, but one of us is in San Diego.
In our hearts, yes.
In our hearts. No, she's still alive, but she's just not on Zoom. Anyway, on a more positive note, we're going to be doing some short form improv for everybody in the audience today. We're going to do a handful of games, see how much time we have. Sorry, something on my ring light. But before we get started, we need a one-word, I'm just too comfortable now. We need a one-word suggestion from the audience. It could be anything, whatever comes to mind. Yeah.
What games are we playing?
Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll spoil the surprise. We're going to play documentary and gibberish story. And maybe a secret game if we have time.
Flip gibberish.
Flip gibberish. So whatever word you heard today, it could be a silly word.
We need a word, any word, anything. Anything.
How about palette?
Palette.
Like a shipping palette or like
that's what I was thinking of, but you can take whichever way you.
Okay.
Palette.
All right.
Perfect. Well, the first game we're going to play is called Documentary. I'm going to hand it off to Amy to explain what we're doing.
Yes. So my name is Amy, and I am a documentary filmmaker. And this was my third documentary, and it's all about pallets and shipping containers and long haul shipping and the maritime industry. But it's set in 1974 when the container ships were first, the supersized container ships were first introduced. So I'm going to ask my documentary friends to go off camera if they can. And our first interview, if you'd please join me. Let's talk about container ships and pallets.
Good afternoon. I'm extremely excited to talk to you about the structural integrity of pallets. As you know, my name is Dr. Pear. I'm a civil engineer by trade, studied at the Vanderbilt University. I specialized in pallet construction. I'm one of the forefront pioneers in shipping pallets. No one knew about this before 1974, so we're at the forefront of this technology.
What inspired the pallet structure, the versatility of the pallet? People make coffee tables out of them now.
Well, to be honest, my inspiration was a pizza box. I saw a person holding dough and cheese on a cardboard box, and I said, we could use that to carry other things. So I got together with some of my engineering friends, and we put together lots of pieces of cardboard till it resembled a pizza box, and voila, we could carry other objects on it.
My understanding is you had a very hard time convincing the industry to adopt the pallet.
Yeah, because before 1974, people just carried objects with their hands everywhere they went. The Egyptians built the pyramids using their hands and pushing rocks. If they had pallets, they could have been way more beautiful than they are now. It was insane to explain this concept of using another object to move an object. I mean, I feel like this is basic physics, but
1974.
1974. I mean,
what are you going to do?
I couldn't convince them.
Who was that charismatic team member who
Mm.
got the point across. Who was that?
Oh, yes. Oh, I forgot her name. It was Professor McFrizzle.
Oh, yes. Perhaps Professor McFrizzle would like to join us.
You
Tell
have
us.
her. She's been in hiding for 20 years.
Oh, we are crack researchers here on my team, Professor McFrizzle. I understand you are the one who convinced people to adopt the palette. How did you do it?
Thank you so much. So where do I start? I mean,
With a palette.
wow, God, where do I begin? God, as I just get so excited talking about palettes, don't you? I just amps me right up, you know? It's like a Red Bull, but it's a palette, you know? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so there's something about that wood, and when it goes together, I mean, wow, like that is a stunner in every room. I really got into it because, if I'm being quite honest, I needed a coffee table, and my boyfriend just wasn't delivering. And as we know, men frequently don't deliver. So I decided to take things into my own hands. So I decided to build a coffee table. So naturally, this is kind of where we were at. I was like, well, what can I find? And here I am, and it has been a beautiful, wonderful journey. And I have just been selling palettes, selling ideas, taking names, feeling great. Broke up with the boyfriend, single. Please call me, folks. Please call me. But otherwise, I'm really happy, though sometimes I'm really sad.
Oh,
My obsession with palettes ruined my marriage.
Oh,
oh.
are you free later?
I am. I know we had a connection back in 1976 at the palette conference, but I didn't want to say anything. But since I never got my mind off the palette, my wife left me.
Oh,
Okay. So
McFrizzle, if you want to call me later, I would like to see your coffee table.
All right, time.
Oh.
This is
Oh.
my documentary. This is not meetup time.
Of course.
Does
of
this look like
course.
an app?
Oh, okay.
We can talk about palettes.
Let's talk offline. Yeah. Let me grab your email.
Of course.
I write a mean email. Yeah.
You write a mean email?
Professor McFrizzle,
That
who was it in the shipping industry that you finally got through with this concept of using the palette?
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for reminding me. Alfred. He was a game changer for me. Alfred was there for me not only through the process of making the palette, but through my breakup. Such a good listener and empathetic ear.
Yeah, you're going to edit this out because they're talking about the romances, and geez Louise,
Excuse me, Alfred stole my patent for the palette. I patented the palette.
So Gene, just cut this out.
He stole.
Alfred, thanks for joining us.
This disgruntled SOB. He still isn't over the fact.
Listen,
Gene,
Alfred,
I
put together the wood and I filed a patent for the palette. No one else thought of putting two pieces of wood together to. That you owe me for that.
I laugh at you. I mock you.
You owe me.
Look at this.
I created that.
I woke up and thought of this.
Alfred, so is it your contention that the palette is truly your idea?
The palette is 100% my idea.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Oh, this is getting juicy.
How? In 1973, we were working together in a lab. I put together all the pieces together, took a picture, and I called it the palette. It was my term.
Look at this.
It's a palette. It's a palette.
Chairs in 1974. I looked at this and said,
Miss McFrizzle was with us in the lab when I did it first.
Is this true, Miss McFrizzle? Professor?
No, it's tough.
Call her. Let's call her by her first name.
I was on the phone with my ex at the time. Things were rough, so things were hazy. I wasn't really paying close attention.
It was 1974.
Trying to listen to my heart and follow my guide.
We were also all on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I was not. I was crystal sharp.
No, Alfred,
was
listen, the
almost fully sedated.
entire time you just slacked off. I did all the work. You sat there and then you played Connect Four by yourself.
Palette Wars. Was it Alfred? Or was it the crack team at Vanderbilt? How will we determine this? Who else could I talk to? Who else was there in 1974?
It was just the three of us. We are responsible for the palette.
Yeah.
I was responsible. You keep trying to take
You
credit
weren't.
for my invention.
I was there for the palette. I was there to console Mrs. McFrizzle. Don't want
I
to
would
go
say
down that
Alfred
road.
was a little more empathetic at the time.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask Miss McFrizzle and Mr. Pear to go off camera for a moment and let me talk to Alfred.
Yeah. Straight up.
Alfred, I need a conclusion.
Yeah.
You know, I've got this grant. If
Mhm.
if I don't have an ending,
No, it's fine.
I've got a problem.
It's
What
fine.
am I going to put in my report? So I need you to make a declaration, and we need to make this clear. Who?
Ready?
Yes.
I invented the palette. One day, I was tired of jumping off things. I thought I need something lower to the ground. Palette was invented by Alfred.
Cut. And scene. Thank you. I have my footage.
Glad to help. Royalties, right? I'm getting a cut.
It's a documentary. There's no money.
I mean, end game, but I guess there could be documentary. I mean, royalties in a documentary, but that was our short form game of a documentary, and we're going to be moving on to a game called Gibberish Story, where two players on camera, me and Steve, whenever Steve joins, me and Steve will be doing the entire scene in gibberish, but our other players, Amy and Megan, will be translating for us. So, for example, I'll speak in gibberish. Megan will translate for me into English. Steve will respond in gibberish. Amy will then translate that gibberish into English, and so on. And we'll weave together interactions and conversations to have a gibberish story. And we're going to just continue off the word palette, since it is such an amazing word.
It's rich.
It is rich.
Rich with association.
Fantastic word. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Perfect. But our suggestion is palette. Thank you.
Richard Dugan, Licken Takatu Kakatlinga.
I got this palette and it's covered in beetle dung.
Bachi 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 bachi.
that's not beetle dung. That looks like cat piss.
Warka Dugan, rare.
Are you telling me you think Fluffy did this?
Bachi ba ba pecha ba do 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 do. Bachi bada bachi ba bada bachu bachi bachi.
No, I traded in Fluffy for some gems last weekend at the gypsy market.
Gogan Dugan Ligadaga Honte Dara. Yeah,
You think you did one over me? I took your gems and I traded them for a fossilized shark tooth.
Bachi bada bachi do bata bata. Bachi bata bata bat chichik bata. Hoppers ba hoppers bata poof.
You imbecile! My brother was killed by a shark. How could you do that? I'm gonna kill your brother.
Padugi, Plinken, Funken, Nakanuni, Nanadlakan Datahara. Ketan Toinga.
This shark tooth is my talisman to protect me from you. You will not get near me, my brother, my mother, my father, or my stepsister. And you can kiss my ass. Rumi.
Batabuti. Batabuti tapiza. Tapita. Tapita. Babamna. Babjaba. Tipjapata. Bachidipapa.
Joke's on you. I already slept with and married your sister. And then she divorced me.
Thinking, Duncan. That. Oh. Oh, yeah,
You dumbass. My sister's an imbecile.
Bashibap chibata. Bacha ba. Bata ba. Batuda. Bujita tap to the thou. Buza. Batuda. The. Batuda. Subida. Buza. Badada.
How can you say that? Your sister makes the best porridge and gives the best hugs.
Onkin Lokin Dagen, Dongi, Nogala Dogi, Malka Patangi, Higi, the Honga, ha!
It's true. Gertie does give wonderful hugs, and she does make good porridge. However, your marriage was doomed from the start.
Bachaba. Bachaba. Wah. Wah. Bachubapcha. Bachubapa. 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 Bachubapa.
I know. Everything seemed to be going well until she had a baby. And then I traded in the baby for some jewels at the gypsy market.
Bacon Dogan, Taka Dogi, Taka.
The joke's on you. I have the baby in the closet, along with a fossilized shark tooth. And scene.
Yeah, we need to call child services after that one.
Because someone's going to get arrested for.
Yeah, I mean, you
Something
just
is
like I really don't think we should just keep babies in the closet. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but it'd be fun to play another game. Is there a baby in
What up,
there?
kids?
We're gonna do.
You want to try flip gibberish?
We're gonna do flip gibberish.
All right.
Where in this case, Megan and Amy will be speaking gibberish. Steve and I will be translating for them. We'll continue with the word palette, or they can use the inspiration of a baby in a closet.
Or perhaps
So we'll get
fossilized shark
started.
tooth.
Or that. I like baby in a closet.
But bow.
You do not understand how important this is to me. It's everything. The top of my head's gonna blow off.
It's not really that big of a deal. We'll just hit it with our elbows till it's soft, and then it'll just blow people's mind.
You are an amateur wrestler. I am a professional wrestler.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm your son. Next time you talk to me that way, I'm going to slap you across the face 3 times.
Look, I think you're getting a little carried away here. In this wrestling act, I'm the king. I win every time. You're the sucker.
Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo.
You sucked as a father.
Right. Where did you learn the Lithuanian neck cracker move? Me? Thank you.
Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo. Boo-ba-doo. Boo-ba-doo. Whoop. 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 Whoop.
You were never there for me. I learned to break necks on all the baby goats in our backyard farm.
Right. I'm aware of you and your life on the farm. And you know what? That wasn't for me. I tried to show you a path out through wrestling, but no, you wanted to be a farm boy.
Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo. Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo. Whoop. 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 Whoop.
I didn't want to be a farm boy. I had to grow all the radishes for our family. We wouldn't have survived. You were gone, and I was alone.
Yeah, I have 5 world championship belts. And that was the most important thing to me in my life. I'm just going to tell you, I know it hurts, but that's the way it is. 5 gold belts. Ha!
Boo-ba-da-boo. 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 Boo-ba-da-boo.
You think that means anything to me? 5 gold belts? I'm here to kick your ass, and I'm going to get more than 5 gold belts. Count on my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last finger is the middle finger.
Hello. I'd like to speak with Batman. No, the real Batman, not the fake Batman, the real Batman. I got a problem I need fixed.
Boo-ba-da-boo-ba-da-boo. Boo-ba-da-boo. Boop, 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 boop. Whoop. Boo-ba-da-boo. 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 Boo-ba-da-boo.
Hey, Mom, yeah, I'm still talking to Dad in the institution. He doesn't seem to be doing any better. Still reliving those wrestling fantasies. So I'm going to go. All right, see you later, Dad. See you next Tuesday.
Hey, come back. Come back. I got some moves to show you. Come on.
And scene.